part?
If they were in regular education, the teacher or the curriculum misses what they need. They need a lot of social interaction skills. They need to understand how to interact with people. That's their basic problem, and the schools don't address that because of the way the curriculum is established.
Is that true even for those kids who are mainstreamed but have a one-on-one?
Yes, that's still, you see, the curriculum of regular education does not give time for the repetitiveness that you have to have with these autistic children. And since they don't fit in, well, hey, they have a minuscule contact with the curriculum, and that's it. Also, I'm chairperson of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. I'm the education chair, and we are having on November 5th a workshop on the rights of students in special education. The 100 Black Women has three main areas of community service: health, education, and political. And my segment, as I said before, is education. One thing that we did that we're also very proud of, there's a school in West Las Vegas that was on the watch list, had been on the watch list for 2 or 3 years.
The federal one.
The watch list here through Clark County School District.
Okay.
So I decided that I would use my phonics program to teach the teachers at that school so that they could use phonics in teaching reading. And that's what we did. And the scores went up, and now that school is no longer on the watch list. They have made Safe Harbor. And that was through the 100 Black Women promoting the program with a little bit of money. They purchased breakfasts and lunches for the students. And anytime I needed materials to use with the teachers, they were able to refund me for any amount that I had spent. So, and we were all pretty proud of that because it's not every day that you can turn a school around.
Tell us what a little bit about the other two areas of 100 Black Women, please.
Well, our main focus health-wise is AIDS. And there's a rampant epidemic of older African-American women contacting the HIV virus. So we work, when I say we...
Many of them are contacting it in relationships that they thought were monogamous.
Yes. And our job is to make sure that they have the information that they need so that they can make a choice as to whether they want to do this or not. So many of the women are not aware that they are subjected to
that they're
AIDS.
at risk.
Yes, that they're at risk, that they're subjected to AIDS or the HIV virus when they have these relationships. But we feel that with the information that we give out, and we have workshops for that, and printed materials, and we go to different conferences and have a table, and we share all of this information with the attendees at the conferences.
And the political action arm.
We are trying to have our members become interested in politics and become actual politicians. And they, in turn...
run for elective office?
Yes. And when they are aware of opportunities to learn, and we also make sure that they know where to go to learn, then we know that then they can help others. So it's a kind of a trickle-down effect that we're doing. We start with our own members in the group, and they go and they disseminate the information to others.
Why should a Caucasian care about the success of this organization?
I believe, and it's just my personal belief, that if we could turn one school around, why then can't they have those same practices done at other schools and turn those schools around? If you're a taxpayer, as I am, You want everybody to be independent to the point where you don't have to subsidize them. So I think if we can get more of the African American people into any kind of successful position, be it health, education, political, we are uplifting our people. When I say our people, I mean African American people, which indeed should keep a lot of them out of, what shall we say, some negative positions which might impact on our taxes being increased.
Please tell us a little bit about the panel of American women.
Oh, I really enjoyed the panel of American women because at that time I had moved to an all-white suburb, and I had had a little bit of trouble with some of my neighbors. And then I met this one woman who told me about the panel of American women, and I joined. And what we did was to go to different women's groups and dispel some of the misconceptions that they had about minority people. And I enjoyed that because there was a lot of interchange of ideas, and I became their publicity chairperson. So I worked with them for about 4 years in Illinois. Well, I go back, as I said before, to all of us being a viable member of a community. In order to live in a community, we all have to sort of pull together. For instance, now with all the political stuff that's going on, you do find people pulling together, and I like that. You can make change if indeed you know that certain factors that are occurring in your society are detrimental for your society. So it's going to impact on you whether you do something or not. And another thing I have to tell you is when my husband was precinct captain during the '08 elections, he went from house to house to house, and many times nobody would talk to him. They just didn't want to be bothered. But yet these are the same people who are going to have increases in their taxes and what have you. So they're not given a voice to their feelings. You need to get out there and say, okay, I'm happy with this or I'm not happy with this. But you have to put your voice out there. And as I said before, we do not live in a vacuum all by ourselves. We live in a community of people interacting with each other.
Why do you care what happens to somebody else's kid?
Well, as I said before, the reason I care about other people's kids, I look at my own sons. They are so successful, and I'm so proud of them. And I say, if my sons have that opportunity to do what they're doing, why can't other African American people especially? I was during the civil rights years, I was very active. I've always been active in doing what is right and getting others to see that they should do what's right. So if my kids, my personal kids, are successful, I want everybody's kids to be successful. I don't care who they are. I just want success. I want to see these young men, and I'm just so proud of them when they are able to accomplish, be they mine or someone else's. So it's not only about me, it's about my people.
So you feel connected to other people of African ancestry.
Yes.
That's why you feel connected, and as though they're family.
I am connected to them because we have so many traits that are alike. And these are my people. I would never, ever disclaim them. And like I said, by that same token, I want to boost their accomplishments. And if I can do it, I'm going to do it, no matter what area it is. But by that same token, I'm on the Achievement Academy, and I'm the only African American person there. But again, I have worked with special kids most of my teaching years, and I see the need there too. And so if I can give of my ideas and my help there, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to give you two examples of people who you might speak to. One is someone who's doing well, maybe single, maybe married, educated, entrepreneurial, whatever. They're making money. They're busier than a one-armed paper hanger, and everything's good. Another person is someone, maybe they're serially unemployed, and it's all they can do to get dinner on the table each day. Why would each of those people want to be of service to someone other than themselves, seeing as so much is going on for them?
Well, first of all, I think the end results speak for themselves. When you've helped somebody and you see an improvement in their existence, you talk with them and hear the enthusiasm of their voice, which they didn't have before. To me, that's just heartwarming. But if you don't have the financial means to help someone, you always give of your time. You can tutor kids in school. You can make a meal from somebody, share up a meal with someone, and there are meals that you can make which are cheap, especially beans and cornbread, which we used to do years ago, my husband and I. But to share that with someone. If you have money and you say, well, I don't have time, okay, then give money to the different causes so that those service organizations can use that money indeed to help those who are less fortunate than we are.
If I could give you any superpower, which one would you select?
You know, there's that movie out called Waiting for Superman.
Yeah.
And
about education.
Yeah, so everybody knows what a Superman is. I would like to have the power of Superman to go around into every school and make sure that every child was taught correctly and effectively how to read. I would love to see that.
What's your favorite movie?
I think the movie that I enjoyed more than anything else was Forrest Gump, because I've taught children with learning disabilities over the years, and I like that it was presented in a very objective way, unlike with Tom Cruise and not Al Pacino, the other one, Dustin Hoffman. I felt that they were taking the idiot savant and making it funny. It's not a funny thing. But in Forrest Gump, I didn't see that they were going for laughs. They presented it just the way it was. And I liked that. I liked that he was able to function in his own way successfully.
Who are your heroes?
I can't pinpoint any one person who is my hero.
You can name as many as you wish.
But I can say that anyone who is working on making a change in the world in which we live is a hero to me. I don't care what they do as long as they're working to make a change.
Is there anything I've neglected to ask you that you think needs to be said now?
I believe in understanding, people understanding each other. I would like to see different minority groups with majority groups having exchange of ideas. And I think a lot of the misconceptions could be cleared up. For instance, when I moved to this all-white suburb, I had a neighbor who really was upset by me moving in, and she didn't talk to me for about a year. And then after a year, she and I became very good friends, and I asked her why she was trying to treat me in the manner in which she was treating me. And she said, well, I always thought when black people moved in, they brought their mothers, their fathers, their aunts and uncle, and they filled up the house with relatives, and that would make my property value go down. And that was something that was easily cleared up just by me existing in that neighborhood with my husband and my 2 kids. So if I could just get all these people together, sit down and talk through what you're afraid of or what you think about some negative thing that you think about someone else, and just come together, put your minds together, because we've all got to live in this world, and I would hope that we can all live together in a peaceful way.
Thank you very much for taking your precious time to meet with me and sharing your ideas with us. I'm very grateful to you, and I hope I added some value to you as well.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, Teddy, for taking the time to meet with me today. To get started, please tell us your full name and a little bit about your family of origin, where you're from.
My name is Dr. Teddy Brody Osentowski, and my home is Chicago. My husband and I relocated to the Las Vegas area 12 years ago, and I've been married 38 years, and we have 2 children.
Tell us about your parents' family, and do you have siblings or?
I'm an only child. My grandfather was always a businessman. Even though he was a farmer, he ran his farm as a business. His cash crop was tobacco. I wrote sort of an historical, half historical book about his life on the farm, and that's in my book, which is called The Black Landed Gentry of Montgomery County. So both my parents were entrepreneurs. Both my sons are entrepreneurs. My husband's an entrepreneur. I'm the only one who has worked for someone else, and presently I'm adjunct faculty at UNLV, University of Nevada at Las Vegas.
What is your doctorate in?
My doctorate is in education.
And where did you get that?
I went to a research university in Illinois, Illinois State University. That's a teaching